Max, let's start with the right way, which is Ireland. Huge congratulations and really showing massive Grand Slam credentials.
Yeah, I botched my prediction on Ireland. They're still the force that they
yes, you did.
They are not. Yes. They are not quite geriatric just yet, and they have a few more years left in them. Absolutely, mate. It's just relentless, isn't it? Relentless. Like, you got Andrew Porter doing the wildest things all game. He's charging kicks down. He's jumping on loose balls. He's making like 18 tackles a game. You got Prendergast, who doesn't even look like he's playing international rugby. Half the time, he looks like he's just on the common with his mates playing touch. But he's the most nonchalant, like 21-year-old at 10 I've ever seen. He's got antifreeze in the blood. Like, don't get me wrong, he can be a bit patchy in that. But at that age, like, imagine where he'll be when he's a little older. Obviously, he's got a set of absolute green hulks in front of him who are doing bits for him and giving him that front foot, being in the shapes he needs them to be. But, mate, yeah, Doris, Jack Conan, Bed's a freak. God, freaky athlete. And then Ronan Kelleher has taken Sheehan's spot. Then Sheehan comes off the bench and potentially the best hooker on the planet. Maybe bar the South Africans. So
there you've got your Lions starting hooker.
Yeah, so it's Scotland had their hands full. And then losing Finn and Darcy, that collision was sickening. Watching oh mate, that was like just nightmare fuel. You know, that happens so quick and you're just out. It's the worst, that head on head in D when it's on the drift.
I think he's broken his jaw as well.
It was a big.
Here, whilst we're sticking on Ireland, why do they put Cian Healy on the bench and then not use him?
That's a weird one, isn't it?
I think it's because I think the narrative around Porter for Ireland is that he's sort of a very crucial cog in like their KPIs as a team. I think just around. So
why not give a younger bloke? I love Cian Healy. I'm not against him, but why not give a younger bloke an opportunity on the bench if you're not going to use him?
I think it's Jack Boyle's the next cab off the rank, and he's as far as I know, very very good. He's a prodigal talent, but I think Ireland are standby sort of if you're good enough, you're young enough. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I'll be interested to see what.
And I'm all for it, Keane. Fly the flag for us geriatrics.
Oh no, I'm with you. But I'll be interested to see what people think, because I've seen a few things flying around going, well, what if you're not going to use him? Why have him on there? Why not blood someone, a youngster? So yeah, our wonderful Irish fans in here, please let us know what you think. Is it Cross, the prop for France?
Yeah.
Mate, yeah. What about him getting back in?
Mate, he's a formidable athlete. I thought he played very well around the park. He was doing bits.
Yeah. I think it was Miafu who did the cover, and then you got these two lads who've come round. You're like, were you hanging around back there like huffing? And then
Miafu was Thanos, wasn't he? Every time he got the ball, he was just inevitable. Bloke never goes backwards when he backs out of his drive. He was ridiculous.
That was so easy to take you.
Freak athletes trying to stop him. Like, I'm wading through them. But anyway, back to Ireland.
No. That was so easy to take you to off of the Scotland Ireland game.
No. But we're always going to come round to it, so it's fun. I don't mind. We're always going to come back to it, right? I'm not letting go of this.
Well, actually, I want to ask you a question.
About Scotland, right? What went wrong?
Let's start with that.
6-2 split to start with. It's backfired. 20 minutes in, you've got outstanding pair of backs on there. Jamie Dobie's obviously, he's played wing plenty of times, so he's gone to wing. Stafford Medell comes in. Tom Jordan, I thought, ran it pretty well. The fact we clung in there, right, in the first half, and it was 10-0, wasn't it, for however long, and we clung in there when Dewey got the yellow card, which was a pretty stupid yellow, but hey-ho. The fact we clung in there gave us hope in the stadium, and then it got to 19 and we pulled it back a little bit just before the end of the first half. And then we came out in the second half and you're like, oh, hold on a minute, okay, things are starting to go well. But 20 minutes in, two backs, that's backfired. I suppose it's a stupid thing to sort of point out because those Finn and Darcy written off at the same time. Suddenly, you lose two of your best players that are going to help you fire. You're in all sorts of trouble. And I thought Stafford McDowell was brilliant when he came on, like his little assist for Dewey's try, and how good was the finish from Duhan. But that backfired a little bit. But the other thing is, if you're doing a 6-2 split, have some fucking power on the bench. Sam Skinner. It's like,
Who would you have had? Who would you have had?
Well, that's the problem. We've got so many injuries in the second row department at the moment that it's like, why do a 6-2 split?
Right.
You know,
it's wrong.
It's more just go 5-3. If you, it's like you're like, oh, we've got these unbelievable beasts in South Africa. We want to use them all, but then Scotland are like, we're going to do a 6-2 split, and then you're just like, well, you haven't got the same. I think it was tactical to have Schoeman on the bench. Try and bring a little bit of power off the bench. Sutherland went well.
Played well. Very good. Yeah.
But I didn't mind that because you get Suz starting and he's a great player, but then you bring a bit of power with Skewy off. Same with Ashman. Like Ashman brings a little bit of power.
Exactly. Yeah.
Gregor Brown again, just he goes well every time he's involved. But it was just exactly like you said, Max. They just started to go up the gears, Ireland. And
it's just
50 odd minutes, you just saw them. They just started trudging away, and it was like seamless. It was like, let's just go up another gear. And like I said, Prendergast was so good. Like, what the we chatted about it a few weeks ago. And we're like, who will we put in there? And he's suddenly you're looking, going, right, he's got to be involved in the lines. He's so good. Everything he does is just seamless, isn't it? The way he runs around the field, and he's an athlete. And so they were good. I'll give it to him. I thought I didn't think Scotland were that bad. I think everyone's made out that we were absolutely shite. I think Ireland just started clicking through the gears and they looked pretty dangerous. James Lowe again. Not fair.
He's
okay. Well, what guys? What I was going to ask you that, Ryan. You played against him. You watch him week in, week out. What makes him so good? Because he's not like burning pace or the hugest.
He's strong.
He's not 6'9". What is it about him?
Strong, and he's very strong, and he's got an I'm him. I'm Bruce Willis in Die Hard mentality.
He's childbearing hips, just oomph, get off me.
Solid.
Like he could have a big baby if he wanted.
Yeah, like uses his body well to avoid being tackled. Like that.
And never gives up.
Blair King on that late footwork on Blair King on.
Yeah, and that's it. It's the late footwork. Schmoggy gets caught a bit. Yeah. He plants his feet.
I think Schmoggy thinks he's like gonna just take it up, and he's just jinxed it.
Skips around it. Yeah. But you're like, remember Nick Griggs, Squigs? He was like that, like power little fucker. And a few of the boys used to say, Squigs, like, how do you do it? And I remember Pete Horner was speaking to him in the centres, and Squigs was like, I'll always try and take that one more. He thinks when I'm done and I'm carrying, I'm just going to try and get that one last step before I hit the deck because it might get me through. And that's what James Lowe does. He's like, you're like, surely he's not, this is it. Like he's almost down and the defender thinks it's done. But then he's like, that one last jaunt of the foot
the defendant
gets him out and he's fucking gone. He was good. He was good, boys. So yeah, it was a long old day. It was a long old day at Murrayfield. I mean, we could go off the rugby if you want in a minute, because there was a very weird Avengers team in one of the boxes. I'll get onto it. What else from the game, Max? What else from the game? I think, did Scotland, should we have gone for the corner and tried to put a bit more pressure on rather than go for the points?
I think you had to go for the points given the context. Yeah. I think that was the pragmatic decision. You lost first choice 10 and Darcy. I think it was quite a good way to get in. But then obviously Ireland scored after, what was it, those two shots at goal. Just tough. Like, it was just the gain line battle. Like Omani was looked like a reincarnation of Richard McCaw at times.
Hold on a minute. Whoa. Wait,
no. I'm saying it was out of character. Brother was making loads of turnovers.
That is funny though, isn't it? Like, see his tweet. I've got a lot of time for that. I'm going to find it. Have you seen it, Max? Have you seen the tweet?
Very good, mate. No, let me see.
He's just straight up said a thank you to all the people booing me. It's made it all the sweeter.
Hey, he was a full-on bulldog. I thought he was class.
You've got to love that, haven't you?
The salt and pepper's real now, though, boys.
Oh, I think it was on. It was in. It was. He's big on the old gram at the moment, isn't he, Peter? Yeah, always a great win in an Irish jersey, but particularly at Murrayfield.
Yeah. Particularly,
you little fucker, you. I'd like to say a special thanks to the crowd yesterday for the boos coming off the pitch. One of the biggest compliments I've ever received.
Very good. I mean, it's so good.
Yeah, no, I can't give it to him. I like
that
it.
Fair
I like
play.
it.
Total fair play.
Another little thing, and I needed to go and spend a bit more time. I haven't had much time to look, but let us know what you thought of Rog on the TV. I think brilliant. I love Ronan O'Gara.
He just says what
it as it is.
He says what you want to hear, not what you want to hear, but what.
No diplomacy. It's completely unpasteurized, unhomogenized. It's out there. And
the BBC will be like, can you make sure you don't say this? And can you make sure you don't do that? And he's going to be like, fuck off.
I feel like that's what, is it ITV wanted from Eddie Jones in a way, where they wanted him to go at people, and Eddie was lovely and sort of a really kind of magnanimous.
Yeah.
Whereas Ronan with the BBC would rather he probably did it because they're quite like, they don't want that sort of heat, and yet that's exactly he is. So, I mean,
well, you've got it the other way around, because Eddie Jones, by the way, I don't think he's giving it anywhere. He's not giving his but Eddie Jones is not giving anywhere near as much as I thought he would. It's like quite short one-word answers, and I'm like, come on, Eddie, like give it a little bit. I thought he was going to give more.
I think he's left. He's left it now, hasn't he?
Oh, has he? Oh, tell me this, Max, whilst we're here. Is Genji and Will Carling's thing an actual thing? Or are they like, is it a play thing?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, so Will Carling said the same thing. He was like, I think, what did he say? Will Carling said something like, and we'll probably be able to get the tweet up here. I thought we'd get a little bit more from Eddie. It's a bit boring. And then Genji wrote, I thought the same again about your podcast, but that's just boring as fuck or something like that.
What?
And then they started going on each other. But then people are like weighing into it, like going mental, and you're like, that's like quite funny.
It's all good. It's all just a lovely soap opera. But wait, Rog for the Wallabies job. Smitty's out. What are we thinking? That'd be cool.
He said he'd be interested. He said he'd go after it. Yeah. Why not? I mean, there's a lot of chat about Franco Smith, what he's up to, where's he going? Because obviously, but where's Checker going?
Back to Australia.
Where's Checker going?
So probably take over Australia, right? But wait, actually, Ryan, what does that result mean for Gregor Townsend? Right, if we're talking,
he's in trouble.
Yeah, is it?
Nah, I don't think he's in trouble.
Well, if he loses to.
No, because I think they'll stick with him. They stuck with him for so long, no matter what. And everyone's saying,
okay, all right. If you lose to France and England, what happens then?
I think there's still an autumn tour coming up. He'll still do the autumn tests. I don't think it'll change. I genuinely don't think anything will change. I think they'll just wait for the contract to come to an end. I think is he? Am I right in saying he's contracted up until the World Cup?
No idea.
No, didn't even want to check it. Not bothered. Thanks, Mark. I thought you might check it whilst we spoke.
Okay, well, if you're giving me a bit more than...
Max, I think what it is everyone constantly going on about Gregor Townsend has this group of players that should be doing something pretty special. And again, you see the debates that are going on, and it's like, why should they, with this team? But you actually look at it, like that back row of Darge, Dempsey and Ferguson, outstanding. They probably don't have enough power up front.
Just so you know.
2026.
2026, yeah.
When's the World Cup?
Well, not until 2027.
Okay. I see someone told me different the other day. That's interesting. But I just think all the chat around Sione, like that one player can't make that much of a difference. But I just go back. I'll go all the way back to it though. I don't think Scotland were that bad. I just think Ireland started to get up for a few more gears, and they're getting better and better and better. And that's it now. I think Ireland are off and are running. Like they were a bit clunky last week against England.
Or do you think that's they were a bit clunky against England, where England actually athletically up to the task of like shepherding the freak show metahuman of the Irish?
I don't.
That's the case. England have savage athletes. They're just not the purring system like Ireland.
Well, we're yet to see. It all goes down to the big game down there now, which is exciting. It does keep it exciting. So, yeah. Well. Just let's recap on that. Ronan O'Gara, we want more of Ronan O'Gara. Even if he does say how it is with Scotland, he's like, I think Scotland are getting worse. That's what I think I heard. That's what he said.
It's amazing. It is amazing, though, the power of the commentator. Like, suddenly, as you're watching a game, the filter of their opinion shapes your perception of what's going on. It is so crazy how, easily influenced you are on a game. Like watching a game on mute and then watching it with commentation is completely different.
Yeah, that's true.
Genuinely.
Yeah. No,
they know not the power they have, these men. I think they do, actually. I think they know very well.